What's up, guys? How's it going? MikeTheTech here, and today I'm going to show you how to install Windows 11 to test and try out in a virtual machine using VirtualBox. Before we get started, I want to give a quick shout out to Todd M. and Leslie Media. Thank you so much for becoming channel members. If you want to become a channel supporter, click on that join button below and get access to shout outs like this and all of our live stream archives and emojis and a bunch of cool extras like that. So let's go ahead and get started. So the first thing you want to do is install. You're going to want to install VirtualBox. I have a video on how to do that as well. So actually, I haven't installed VirtualBox on this machine, so this kind of works out. VirtualBox. We're going to go to Oracle VM VirtualBox. Click on Download, Windows Hosts, and you're just going to go ahead and install that. We're going to enable all support, install the network interfaces, and when it asks, you're going to have to click Allow. User Access Control, or UAC, is going to pop up and ask you to install some drivers. Those are just so that I could replicate and use your system drivers. Click Install. And finish. All right, so now that we have VirtualBox, we're going to create a new virtual machine for our Windows 11 machine. So let's go ahead and click on New, and we're going to name this Windows 11. And you're going to want to choose Windows 10 64-bit. It won't work on any of the other Windows versions. It has to mimic Windows 10. So we'll go to Next with that. It needs at least 4 gigs of memory. We're going to give it 8. And we're going to create a virtual hard disk. There's 2 types of drives we can create. Well, actually, there's more, but we're going to use a VDI. There's 2 types of VDI drives we can make: dynamically allocated and fixed size. Fixed size means if you make it 100 gigabytes, it will take up 100 gigabytes of storage at all times, and you can use all of that 100 gigabytes. If you choose dynamically allocated and give it 100 gigabytes, then it's only going to use like as much as your OS and as much storage as you've used on the drive itself. So if you've only used 20 of that 100, it's only going to use 20 of that 100 on your main drive. And it can grow up to 100 gigabytes. So I like that better, so it doesn't immediately take up all your space if you're never going to use it. So let's go to dynamically allocated and click next. And we'll give that 100 gigabytes of space to play with. You can also choose where you want to save this file if you want to put it somewhere else. All right, so now we have our drive. Let's go to Settings. And we're going to just briefly go through these settings and make sure everything is set up properly. If you're going to be doing anything with viruses, do not use the shared clipboard, drag and drop, or any kind of features like shared folders that are going to enable the virus to leave the virtual machine and onto your main PC. Other than that, you can use these features because they're actually usability features and they're pretty useful. But if you're planning to do things like testing, stuff like that, that might be dangerous, you might not want to enable those features. Under System, we can make sure everything is set up properly here. Let's go to Processor. Let's go and give this 2 CPUs. That looks good. Let's go to Display. We want our video memory all the way up, and we want to enable 3D acceleration and enable that all the way up. And we want to use VBox SVGA. The other ones don't work for me. VBox SVGA is the one that works for me. And then under storage, the last part, this is where we're going to place our super secret ISO image of Windows 11, the installer. Click on this little virtual optical disk here and click on choose a disk file. And you're going to look for that file. I can't link this file here because Microsoft is actively sending DMCA notices for those who share it. So unfortunately, I can't share that, but this is the original file name, which should help you out in your quest. But we're going to go ahead and click on that file, make sure that it's all listed here, and everything else should be fine. Let's press OK, and let's test out the install. All right, it says, do you want to start from that image that we just put in? And yes, we do. I'll make this full screen. All right, so here we're in the installer. We're going to click on Next and Install Now. We don't have a Windows key to activate Windows. If you're brave, you can log into your live account after, and some users have stated that it activates Windows when you log in, but I haven't tested that yet, so I'm going to choose I don't have a product key. Windows lets you test out all of their operating systems without a key for a while, so it works fine. And I'll go ahead and use Windows 11 Pro. Actually, I'll go Pro for workstations. Seems like it might have more. Yeah, let's go for that. Has every version here, whichever one you want to install. They're all 64-bit. And you're given the applicable notices and license terms. You just want to accept all the agreements. If you come up with an error here, it means that you missed one of the steps. You might need to change it to Windows 10 or change it to VBox SVGA. We're going to go to Custom, Install Windows Only. Choose that new 100 gig drive and hit Next. And we're in the install process. All right, so it looks like it's restarting. Press any key to boot from the CD or DVD. We do not want to do that. We want to boot from the drive. You can actually go to Devices, Optical Drives, and remove the disk from the virtual drive. That way our installer isn't there anymore. And there we are. We are in the configuration and setup for Windows 11. We're going to choose US, US keyboard, skip the secondary keyboard, we'll set it up for personal use. This is where I'm not going to sign in with my Microsoft account, but we can choose, let's see, no account, create one. Let's see, get a new email address, no. Let's see, sign in options, offline account, here we go. So let's choose an offline account. And they're going to try and trick us into clicking next. We're actually going to click on limited experience. They got me the first time. Here we go. We'll choose Mike Tester. Choose the password, test 123. Just so you guys can see it too. Test 123. Oh gosh, security questions. First pet's name, test. Childhood nickname, they called me Test. And first name of your oldest cousin, surprisingly, also Test. Perfect. I'm not going to give them my location, not going to turn on Find My Device. I will turn on diagnostics data and inking and typing. And tailored experiences, advertising ID, that's all fine. Hi. Getting things ready for you. Windows 11 will be just a moment. Oh, close. This might take a few minutes. Kick back those feet, boys. It's going to be a while. Hopefully not too long. All right, so we are in Windows 10. It's searching for drivers right now, getting everything installed, and we have our new experience here. So if we click on the Windows menu, that comes up. If we right-click, we have these. We have this nice rounded edges, and it's technically running. However, we do want some better support because we can't actually go into full screen. If we choose full screen mode, it's still the same size. If we go to display settings, we can only go up to 1600 by 1200, which is much smaller than 1920 and 1080 and standard resolution. So what we need to do is we need to install the VirtualBox guest editions. So we're just going to go to input. No, wait. Let me unfull screen this because it's a little bit of a pain to use like that. We're going to go to devices and choose insert guest editions CD image. And you'll see that it showed up here. Click on that. And we're going to run VBox Windows Editions. Click on yes. And go ahead and run through this installer with all the defaults set. And we need to reboot. And upon restart, we should be able to make use of full screen mode and all of the integrated features built into Windows. Luckily, VirtualBox still works with the new version of Windows without any changes or edits. Not sure if there's anything that doesn't work, but it seems to all work. So this was test 1, 2, 3. Almost forgot. Might have had to watch the video back. And let's go ahead and see if it supports full screen. There we go. We are in full screen mode. And we're running Windows 11 with full support. It looks like everything should work. We have our new sidebar on the left with all of our suggestions. And we have our notifications bar on the right. And everything should work as expected. We also have some new icons here. Let me know if you have any questions in the comment section below. And I'd be happy to answer them. This one's a little finicky, so I'm sure some people might run into some issues along the way, but I'm happy to see if I can help fix them. Thank you so much for watching, and have a great day. Peace. What? You've never heard of Stream Savers? And you thought PewDiePie was the only YouTuber to make a game? I made a game too, and it's called Stream Savers, and it's available for pre-order right now for $9.99, and that's a great price.